Let's get into a panel of our regular guests now. Ali Clark, the host of Breakfast on Mix in Adelaide, and 2CC Brekkie host in Canberra, Stephen Cenatiempo. Good to hear from both of you. We'll come to that voice issue in a moment, but I want to start on the issue that really the opposition should be talking about and hammering every day, and that is the cost of living. And Ali, we know that the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, is off to Washington to discuss the global economy and his budget problems with the G20 economic ministers, but they ain't got to help anyone who's struggling to pay their electricity bill at the moment.
That's right. You're not going to be able to help me, or that's not helping me get whatever I need into my shopping trolley, or getting the kids those new shoes that they keep running out of way too regularly. So what do you do from here? Look, partly, I think education of what is available is a really big thing that hasn't really been harnessed very well. I don't know about any of you, but when's the last time you've had to go through the paperwork to try to be able to receive a subsidy or go through and find out something that is available to you? It is really tricky to do, and you don't know it's there. One example that we have here in South Australia, and I think they do in the eastern states, are vouchers for school sport. It doesn't have as big a take-up as it should. So if there are these things available, and maybe we should be looking at these more practical things, let's get them in place, but tell everybody about it and leave those trips to Washington for something else.
Yeah, they've got to be easier. I reckon there's way too many of those. They're not means-tested. Sure, help families if they're in the lower incomes or fixed incomes, but they're throwing out all these vouchers for everyone. Before I come to you, Stephen, I'll just show you a little bit of what Jim Chalmers had to say today.
Well, there are no easy decisions, frankly, when you've got the global environment such as it is. And we're looking for other ways to provide responsible, targeted cost of living relief. Energy bills is a good example of that.
Yeah, so they're going to start, they'll announce this in the budget. They're doing it with the states. They're going to hand out energy rebates. But, Stephen, at the same time, they're getting rid of the low and middle income tax offset. So there's up to $1,500 that low and middle income earners are get every year when they file their tax returns. That's going to disappear apparently. So they take with one hand and give you a bit more with the other.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, really, and there doesn't seem to be any move to change any of the structural things that government can to affect the cost of living. But the problem is we're so far into this crisis now that I don't know what the government can do to actually turn it around quickly. A classic example, we know that electricity prices are going through the roof, and that's about to get worse. 18 days, the Liddell coal-fired power station in the Hunter Valley closes, which is going to take massive amounts out of our energy grid, which is going to cause all sorts of problems, particularly as we head into the colder months. So this isn't a problem that's going away anytime soon. And I mean, it's all well and good to say that we'll have the odd handout here and there in the budget, but is that really the answer? I mean, there needs to be more structural change to try and affect this, and you can't leave it up to the RBA to keep increasing interest rates to try and bring inflation down and affect the situation. Government's got to play its role as well.
One of the few things they can really control is have an impact on energy prices, and everything they're doing on energy is going to make it more expensive.